Good morning, everyone. This is the Delaware County Commissioner meeting. It's Monday, May 5th, 2025. Time is 9:01 a.m. Let's open the meeting with the Pledge of Allegiance. Ed, can you call the roll, please?
Commissioner Reagan.
Present.
Commissioner Brand. Present. Commissioner Henry.
Here.
Mr. Brett. Here.
Okay, first we have an appointment to announce. The Commissioner's Office Executive Administrator, Jenna Kalin, has applied, I guess, as the administrator. The Commissioner's Office, the Administrator, Sarah Hodges, she took a new position with somebody else. Sarah did a great job for us. She worked very hard, and she come in at a time where the office was kind of in turmoil, and she took the office and turned it around and did a great job for the commissioners. So I want to publicly thank Sarah for all her hard work and everything she had done for us in the past 2 years. But with that being said, we also need to go ahead and vote, I guess, to make Jenna official. Jenna was Sarah's assistant along with HR's assistant, so we're moving some things around in our office and probably going to eliminate a position, and so that's where Jenna comes in. So what's your...
Yeah, she served as well,
She's
and
been-
so did Sarah.
Yep, Jenna's been here for a long time as well, and a couple of years, and she's done well also.
I make a motion to appoint Jenna Kalin, Executive Assistant to the Commissioners.
So we have a motion to appoint Jenna in a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes.
Commissioner Brand. Yes. Commissioner Henry.
Yes. Jenna, could you give us about a 5-minute speech?
She is
Okay.
kind of shy, you know.
Yeah, okay.
Really
Okay,
shy.
so we'll move on to public hearing. We have a public hearing in reference to some new traffic issues in the county.
Is that 2025-10? That's what it will be, is that correct? Eventually. So this is on the second page of your agenda. It's on the back of the agenda. Ordinance was for first reading, which is the public hearing. Okay, 2025-10.
Okay, Paula, would you like to talk about these changes?
Good morning. These were some of those traffic studies I'd done in the last year. We've had a couple complaints on speeds, requests for always stops, and especially on 400 South, no semis due to the amount that's going and the damage they're creating on the sides of the road.
You want to just briefly go over each proposal?
Okay, on Shindell, it runs approximately 3.3 miles, and it does not have a speed limit currently. So after I did my traffic study, a 30 mile an hour speed from 500 East through that curve until it gets up to Clifton, and then 40 from Clifton to Sharpton. And then in Hamilton Township on County Road 100 West, it runs a little over 2 miles from State Road 28 to 800 North. It doesn't have a set speed limit either. So we want to do 40 miles an hour between State Road 28 and 800 North. And then in Harrison Township, County Road 450 West, it runs about 2.5 miles. It does not have a speed limit. So when I did my traffic count for my bridge, I set my counters up, and we recommend a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit on that road as well. And then in Liberty, we've had several calls, especially after the highway paved it with the speeding. It did not have a set speed limit. So after running the counters, we're going to start with a 30-mile-an-hour speed limit from Smithfield Pike and run it north to Selma town limit, around 3,200 feet. And then in Monroe, on Shockley Road, there's quite a few accidents in that curve between 3 and Meeker or 200 east. So we were going to set that at 30 miles an hour from State Road 3 to County Road 200 east. 300 south, that runs there along ACO from Meeker to State Road 35. And that gets a lot of semi-traffic since they shut down the turn there on the bypass. And it's a lot more residential, I would think, to the houses and the driveways. So if we could set that at 35 miles an hour from 35 to 200 east. And in Mount Pleasant Township on Priestford Road, I found an ordinance from 1991 with a 20-mile-an-hour speed limit. After I did the counts on those two bridges, we want to set it at 35 miles an hour from 32 to River Valley Road. And then on Bell Creek, it runs from 200 south to 500 south. And that one got a couple sharp S-curves. So we want to put a posted speed limit of 40 miles an hour and then update the road class to a Class 2 rule that has 500 to 1,999 vehicles per day. And then on River Road, just to the west of Yorktown Schools, that one did not have a posted speed limit either. So between 600 West and County Road 775 West, a 40-mile-an-hour speed limit with a lot of the residential houses along that north side of the road. And then in Perry, east of the reservoir, I've got a couple. 600 south from 560 east to Randolph County line, do 40 miles an hour. 700 south from County Road 540 to Randolph County line at 40. County Road 800 south from State Road 35 to the Randolph County line at 40 also. We've got a lot of Amish that have moved into the area. Well, not a lot, but a few. And since there were no established speed limits, it might be safer to start those on the slower side and then reevaluate it again in a year or two. And in Salem, I have Pugsley Road, which I've got a couple calls from different people. So we did a 24-hour test out there from 67 to County Road 600 south. That one would like to start at 30 miles an hour. It doesn't have one posted currently. And then on Honey Creek Road from State Road 67 to County Road 700 south. Highly residential through that area. Plus it narrows in areas where some of the culverts are. So we want to start with posting a 35-mile-an-hour speed limit at this time and maybe move on or check it again, see what traffic does with it. And then in Washington Township, County Road 500 West, from 850 north to Jonesboro, it currently has a speed limit of 35. We can move that to 40 due to the average 85th percentile in mean speed. It's 42. That's not that's just kind of an empty stretch, a few houses. And then one of the farming companies is there. And then on 1,000 north, which really that is the primary road for that intersection. There's not a stop from Wheeling until you get to, I think it's 600 West. So that's a couple miles. it does not have a speed limit. And we got the 85th percentile in the mean speed at 44.1 miles. So maybe start with a 40 mile an hour. There's a lot of farming that goes through there. Well, and that's all I had for speed limits. There are a couple always stops that we wanted to add that we've done studies on. The first one is in Washington Township at 1,000 North and 500 West. And there's a current stop now on 1,000 West. And 500 West has the right of way. You're blocked on 3 of the intersections with fields. I've talked to a guy that lives there on the corner. He sent a letter in about the damage he gets from people running that stop and pulling off to the side of the road, causing damage to his property, mostly his yard and his field across the street. So that one, 1,000 North would be the primary road on that, and that's currently the road that stops. It has more traffic than 500 West does, so it's set backwards. And then on the T intersection in Perry Township on County Road 461/462 East and 550 South, that one gets a lot of traffic. When it's nice out, there's 3 months where there's not many. It's very obstructed to the traffic coming southbound. When you're at that, you have to pull almost out to the middle of the intersection. There was a death there a couple years ago, a couple bad wrecks in the last few years. Speed limit's 30 through there, but it's more of a suggestion. I think they think it is. But yeah, that one, since the new property owner's putting up a fence, it's just impossible to see any traffic coming out. And then on Willoughby Street and 30th, a lot of for an all-way stop, some of the traffic there, people are parking along the side of the house that's actually on Willoughby, and it creates, for the bus stops, the kids out there. A couple people have called about that. They talked to Tommy about it as well. And so when I did the study, it probably would be a bad idea to go ahead and make that an all-way stop as well. If all the signage is up, it's correct. There's 2 school bus stops on that stretch of road too, that make it kind of tough. And then the one I didn't get on the summary sheet is the no semis on 400 South in Salem Township. Well, there's a little corner of it that's still Monroe. I've had calls and complaints on that one. The semis that are driving are more frequent. On a 3-day study, about 30% of them are your semis coming through there. That's a hot intersection for wrecks. And then I've included the chart so you can see each class and what they come through as. But we want to try that so it doesn't tear up the sides of the roads when they pull over, if they're a lot bigger. To no trucks on County Road 400 South from 67 to 600 West. That's all I've got.
Yeah.
Paula, was there an additional one at County Road 775 South in the intersection of Old Road?
There was the study.
That was one time he wanted.
Yeah.
Yeah, he did add that one. I don't have those papers with me. I know that one, a lot of it is that intersection that cuts out if you come off of State Road 3 heading west. I mean, you don't have enough time to go and stop due to the growth of the brush. So,
We talked about that in a previous meeting.
We did. Tommy, you wanna briefly talk about that?
On 775 South and Old Road, there's problems with semis. The semis are getting off the road. The road's narrow. The biggest concern is when the semis are coming from 3 they're on Old Road. When they start to turn onto 775, they're swinging out. They're actually running the semis on the other side off the road. So we have a whole plan in the works right now. We're moving stuff back. We're gonna widen a corner. We're gonna put some shoring on the south side of the road of 775. So there's a whole plan in the works. I'd like to get the four-way stop passed as soon as possible. I'm gonna ask for that because the problem is it's not speed, it's the swinging out, getting around. I've driven with my horse trailer several times with oncoming traffic. I have to swing out with a 20-foot horse trailer. So I really would like to see this get passed on this four-way stop, so I can proceed with what the B part of the plan is. To see if this helps with the Oakville elevator, well, I guess it's the Andersons now. It will help with what their problems are. If this does work, which I think it will, by widening this corner and putting the stop signs up, which they will be double stop sign. We'll have stop bars, we'll have rumble strips, we'll have the whole works to let people know it's happening with flashers, beacons.
This is currently a two-way stop,
It's
correct?
currently a two-way, yes. If this does work, then we will move on with a different plan the next year about paving that road. But I don't want to pave that road until we find out this is gonna work. I'm positive it will work. We checked in some other stuff about getting right away from the field over there and widening that road, but that's impossible. Money-wise, it's impossible. Money to buy the ground, money to widen the road. We would have to go way out in that field to get the right slope.
Thank you.
Weren't you having trouble with the utilities? Did they get out there to?
Yeah, I'm working with Comcast right now and works. And something I'm gonna get with Paul about, I'm gonna make you aware of, Stephen will be really aware of this. I think we need to do something at 300 west and 700 south, where the offset is, which I can talk to Paul about that, but I don't know if that's a place for a four-way. There's been some problems there in the past. I wish he was reading them off, so I will get with her on that too.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you.
Is
that it for me?
you have any questions, Paul?
I do. So the last one you talked about, the 400 south, you're trying to prevent
Mm-hmm.
semis from going between State Road 67, which is there at 400 south by the Village Pantry,
Right,
and 600 west.
yes, where it
And-
comes back from the trucking plant there at 67 on the corner.
That include farmers.
No. It will not include farmers. Any farm or ag is, and we can write that in the ordinance to where it's permissible for them. But we can't have trucking
No commercial
companies go through.
So there are a couple new businesses out that way that are using this as a cut through, and I think they tore the heck out of Bell Creek also.
I
Right.
believe you're right on that. I don't know for sure. I've just been focused on 400 South. But yeah, that road's just, I mean, the guys just redid that last summer. And I mean, the corners of the road, especially if you're heading east towards 67, they're chewed up.
Okay.
Another thing to keep in mind is that there's no stop sign on 400 South until you get close to Delville. So the speeds can, be part of who has to pull over for oncoming semis, where they're at. The culverts alongside the road. The one there on the northeast corner is one that I'm aware is going to get damaged the most when they try to turn north on 600 west. Or 600 west.
Thank you.
I do have a previous intersection study if you want me to send that to you for that intersection.
Sure.
Stephen, I got a question. At 400 south and 600 west, they proposed a roundabout there.
There were several things proposed. So originally there was a roundabout. I think that study was $550,000, just
Yeah.
the study, not to actually construct or do any engineering. And that roundabout got changed into a reroute of the road to make it not an offset intersection. And that study was even more expensive. It was like $600,000. And the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission approved that last year. And the new Delaware County Redevelopment Commission board, including Commissioner Henry and myself, we stopped that $600,000 study to reroute the offset.
Because what she's talking about there, we're not stopped, we don't want to impede the flow of traffic down 400 out there, but at that intersection we're talking about, it's probably a 75-foot offset each way.
Yep.
So it might not be a bad idea to add that to your.
I have a study for that from last fall, wasn't it, Shannon?
Yeah, I
That
think
we
it
did, I
was.
can send that to you to take a look at.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was brought up at the redevelopment commission meeting also, you know, why spend 600,000 on a study when we might be able to put up a couple stop signs?
I mean, it's kind of comical if you watch some of these, you know, tractor trailers try to make that turn. It's just, they know they can't do it, but,
Yeah.
or the good ones can, but maybe most of them can't.
They're bad drivers.
Women drivers.
Yeah, I didn't say women, I said bad. For the record, I said bad.
I'm kidding.
Did not say
I'm
women.
kidding. Yeah, no, I'll send that study to you guys when I get back to the office, so you've got it, take a look at it. If you want another one, I'll get one set up.
Any other questions, Paula?
Yeah, nice job for your first time.
You know I was nervous.
You did
All right, thank you guys.
Thank
If you have any
you.
questions, give me a call.
appreciate all your work on this.
All right, thanks, Shannon.
Is there anyone else to speak about, these proposed changes? Or against?
Just for the record, they're not posted, and the speed limit is imposed by the state of Indiana, 55 miles an hour, so.
Anyone else to speak?
Move to close.
We have a motion to close the public hearing,
Second.
and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes. All right, next we'll go to table business, solar moratorium.
Yeah, I'd like to make a motion to take that off the table so I can provide a quick update.
So move.
A motion to take that off the table, and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes, good. Commissioner Grant.
Thank you. So, had some ongoing meetings. I met with Exilio and 3 of the landowners out there. They all 3 happen to be farmers. And we reviewed the project limitations. The project limitation out there remains flooding. It's not the setbacks. I think that was a bit of a surprise to some of the landowners that saw the maps online, when Cedric was showing them from Exilio. The flood maps out there are controlled by FEMA, and the flood insurance rate maps, those are the firm maps that I believe will be used. And there was a lot of discussion about prime farm ground and what constitutes prime farm ground. There's a belief that is false that, the majority of the land in Delaware County is prime farm ground. That's not true. Anything that's in a floodway, a flood zone, in the 2% fringe, anything on the firm, on the FEMA maps, that is not generally prime farm ground. Additionally, it's pretty complicated as it relates to legal drains and mutual drains. Those are considered to relieve that flood area, but a private drain is not. So as you see farmers doing a lot of private ditching, private draining, that's not considered. And those areas would not then qualify as such. So I was approached by the Center for Energy Education. I've attended, I think, 3 or 4 of their public events. They work a little bit with National Grid Renewable, and they brought a subject matter expert on ordinances, all things wind and solar. And we had a call last week and went over the ordinance and some of the challenges. The comment from the expert was that the property value guarantee language that was originally proposed of 1 mile and 1 year was very reasonable. And I let her know that is right now the proposal is a half a mile in 1 year. She said that was extremely generous in her experience, that other areas have put much more restrictive property value guarantees in place. Additionally, she had told me that I shared one of the concerns that these solar companies will then sell to a regulated utility company, and then they become tax exempt. And she said we already have our first examples up in White County. NIPSCO has purchased 2 of the solar installations up there, so now you have a public agency controlling those solar, not a private company, and they're going to be tax exempt. Additionally, when those public agencies want an increase in their rates, they have to go through a public hearing process, go through the IURC, et cetera. And you know who pays for those improvements? We do, right? The ratepayers and the taxpayers. So when they're still private companies, it's on them to get their private equity or whatever kind of tax credits they can get to improve or repair those situations. I brought it up in the last meeting. I still haven't seen the contracts, but I want to caution the landowners that have their land signed up, please look and see who's paying the property taxes. I'm going to state the numbers again for the record. Before Senate Enrolled Act number 1 became law, and I'm still trying to figure that part out, the assessed value for an acre of farm ground is $2,390 an acre. We all know that farm ground sells for more than that in Delaware County, but that's the assessed value that farmers pay their share. When it has utility on it, like solar, that falls under the 800 utility class rating for the state of Indiana guidelines. It's $13,726 an acre. So who's paying the property taxes is important. I'm just warning people, pay attention to that. Additionally, there's still 4 companies. There is one new company starting to sniff around. I might say this incorrectly. I'm gonna pronounce it Acciona, Acciona Energy, has started asking some questions here locally, and looks like of the 5,000 acres that's in the ordinance today, if you look at the 4 companies that are here, it's just under 3,000 acres that are taken up. So there's still about 2,150 or 2,160 acres that are available. In our last commissioners meeting, when we were going over the ordinance, the discussion came up about private solar, and I had put private solar in the ordinance, and there was a lot of discussion about that. The recommendation was to go with what's already in our current comprehensive zoning ordinance, and I had not read it, and I don't know that we knew at that time. So the answer is 3 feet. The setback for private solar is 3 feet. So if somebody wants to build a solar installation on their property behind their house, they can build it within 3 feet of your property line. That's what our current zoning ordinance says. Now, I don't know that we have a lot of permits being applied for to put private solar up, but you know, I personally wouldn't want it within 3 feet of my property line. I don't know if you would either. Additionally, I had asked the subject matter expert that was recommended to me by the Center for Energy Education if there are any known successful decommissioning of solar in the United States, and her answer is no. I can't find a single person that is aware of a successful decommissioning of a solar installation in the United States. We still have 11 to 12 counties in Indiana of the 92 that don't have any solar or wind language at all. Purdue allegedly is doing a study on how many moratoriums are in place today. I believe the number's pretty high, somewhere around at least half of the 92 counties either have a moratorium in place, temporary or indefinite, or they have such restrictive language that solar would never develop. And just like here in Delaware County, there's wind language that prevents any wind from being built in Delaware County. So I think that's it. Thank you. Motion to put it back on the table.
Second.
Motion table and second, roll call please.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes. We have the IU Health Clinic Master's Agreement. We are going to keep that on the table. We're still waiting on we had a meeting with them last week. We're waiting for some information from them. They're going to be providing soon, hopefully. Land Bank with Nate Howard.
Make a motion to take that off the table.
A motion to take that off the table.
Second.
Roll call please.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
So the original request was 2.8 million over 5 years, targeting the ARP funds, the American Rescue Plan funds. I don't believe that amount of money exists, even divided over a 5-year period. I know Commissioner Henry, you've been looking into the ARP much more than I have.
It doesn't exist, you're correct.
Yeah. So while I'm not against conveying properties to the land bank, I've said this a couple times in the redevelopment commission meeting and here, I believe that the Delaware County Redevelopment Commission should have priority. Muncie Redevelopment Commission should have priority. Yorktown, Daleville Redevelopment Commissions. And then we don't want to run these properties through tax sales multiple times. That costs us a lot of money and they just don't go anywhere and the taxes continue to appreciate. So I just don't see at this time where we have the money to fund this request, although I don't believe that we would not convey properties to the land bank in the future, provided that The other redevelopment commissions weren't interested in them, and we were looking at sending them through a tax sale for the third time, for example. I'm just making that up, but I would like to withdraw this request or vote it down, whatever we need to do here. John, what's the recommendation?
You can vote down the request as presented, and then they can make another request with a different amount or different format. But you can vote this one down as requested.
I would like to make a motion to turn this proposal down as requested.
Second,
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Reagan,
yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes. Thank you. Next, we have 804 East Willard Street.
I don't know if she's been given notice that.
She was on the agenda last month. There.
Oh,
There we go.
Oh, I didn't see her. She's,
Hi, my
Let's-
name is Angelina.
Wait,
Hold on, just real quick, miss. Let's make a motion, to take it off the
Yeah,
table.
motion to take it off the table.
second,
Roll call, please.
Commissioner Reagan,
yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes. There you go. I apologize. Go ahead, miss.
I'm so sorry. My name is Angelina Sims. I'm standing in place of Albany Kelly. I am the secretary of a non-for-profit Women Support Girls, Women Support Each Other. We have already obtained 806 East Willard to build out our headquarters for our support groups and things that we're doing in the community. We would love to obtain 804 to be used as a parking lot. Our groups normally have about 20 to 25 people. In that area, there may be a parking issue. We know that land is available and would love to be able to use it to eliminate any type of traffic congestion.
Are there taxes owed on this property?
Their current taxes, no. Other than what's the 24 paid 25.
Gotcha.
It's your pleasure.
Sorry, what's the name of your group again?
Women support girls, women support each other.
Gotcha. Couldn't remember what that long acronym was for.
I think, how long have you been established?
2 years.
2 years.
I have received an application from the organization. I've received the Articles of Incorporation and their tax exempt status. They meet all the criteria. If you want to transfer this, statute allows the commissioners to transfer real estate to tax exempt entities, not just not for profit, but tax exempt entities that qualify, and you can transfer it for $1. That's basically what you can to those entities. So you can transfer them, they seem to qualify.
So their articles of incorporation meet the business purposes of the state statute?
Scientific, literary, educational, agricultural. I think their articles of incorporation meet that.
And when we do the transfer, are we exempt from all the charges?
Well, the transfer is always made by resolution, which I would have the resolution for the next meeting. The transfer would be made to them. Then it would be, I would prepare the deed. It'd be a quitclaim deed to the organization. They would report it at their cost, which is like $30, $40.
So they would bear that?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
What's your pleasure?
I'm good. I'd like to make a motion that we let them have it for $1.
A second.
We have a motion to transfer the property to the group in a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks for showing up. Best wishes.
John, do you need anything from them, or you?
I have the name of the organization. I will prepare the deed and the resolution for next meeting.
Okay. Thank you, miss. All right, next we have approval of minutes, Commissioner meeting, April 21st, 2025.
I make a motion to approve with the following correction. Under the solar moratorium, I had mentioned the Exilio project, and that is spelled EXILIO.
You have that.
Perfect, thank you.
Second,
We have a motion to approve the minutes in a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand? Yes. Commissioner Reagan?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry?
Yes. Thank you. Next, we have presentations to the commissioners. The Innovation Connector, Mr. Baker.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ted Baker. I'm CEO and Executive Director of the Muncie Innovation Connector. Last month, I had the pleasure of attending the International Business Innovation Association's international conference that was held in Philadelphia. We were presented with an international award, one of only 4 awards that were handed out this year, for a program that we have called Soft Landings. And this is what we do that helps foreign entities moving into our county and our community. We wrap around our services to help them with what we call a soft landing into our community. It's been a very successful program. We're the only such program in the state of Indiana, and we are just really proud to receive this international attainment. So what I'd like to do, because the Delaware County Commissioners were so vital for us to be able to receive this award and then their support, I've just got a duplicate of our award that I'd like you to put in your office. And it just said 2025 Specialty Award Soft Landing, Muncie Innovation Connector Incorporated. So I'd like to present this to you and thanks for your assistance. And as we continue to bring in new companies, we just want to work together. And so thank you very much for your help. So I just want to present this to you.
Thank you, Mr.
you.
Baker, and congratulations. We appreciate all your hard work. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Congratulations.
Come back anytime.
Next, we have CCMG under advisement bids. So we have bids for paving. We had Brooks Construction at $972,860, and we had EMB Paving at $984,235.40. And the bids have been reviewed. John, you've looked at all of it, correct?
Yes, I have. Angela made a recommendation. Do you want to award all the bids, or you want to, based upon project?
For the CCMG grant, we checked into this last time. It has to be awarded as a total package. Yeah,
It looks like First Brooks is the lowest bid, if I'm not mistaken.
that's correct.
So First Brooks is the lowest bidder. They're responsible, they're responsive. They've done a lot of projects in the county before. And so I believe that, they would qualify to get this award.
You have all the documentation that's required, correct?
I do. And I believe that, there is a contract, our standard contract, that, we use for these projects that's also on the agenda.
This is 2025-2.
You want to read that total in John's record?
$972,860.
Right. That's to do County Road 650 East from Centennial to County Road 350 North, River Valley Road from Priest Ford to County Road 900 West, County Road 271 East, which I believe is also Roman Road, from County Road 1200 North to County Road 1300 North, and County Road 1200 North from State Road 3. And we won't be in the NDOT right away there, all the way to Walnut Street.
I move we accept.
Second.
So we have a motion to approve the contract with Brooks for $972,860 and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand? Yes. Commissioner Reagan?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry?
Yes. Next, we have the LPA contract.
This is a consulting contract entered in between Delaware County and Volker Inc. for a bridge superstructure replacement, County Bridge number 30. don't ask me where that is, but Angie would know off the top of her head. These contracts are, reviewed and submitted pursuant to the NDOT regulations. So they're an NDOT approved vendor, and federal money is doing this particular bridge. And Volkert was the successful applicant for these services on this one.
I'm thinking it's one of our timber bridges. It's only $880,000.
I believe it's 30 on 500 North. That's the timber bridge on 500 North.
I don't know that. I can find out.
Yeah, that,
Yeah.
so,
This is Eaton Albany Pike over Reese Ditch.
Okay, this is the twin bridges.
This is Twin Bridges.
Yeah.
That's right. If Tommy can hear out in the hallway, he
It's
doesn't need to
over,
look it
the
up.
one's over by Eaton and Troy.
Right. And this is only for them to do the right-of-way work, right? This is for $16,855.
I didn't see this right away.
Yeah, I think it's on the very last page.
There's, Appendix A is their scope of services.
Okay.
And the timing, notice to proceed with, actually happened in, 2023, according to this schedule. Anticipated letting,
Yeah, it looks,
October 26th.
it's like all right away.
Yeah, I think this is all right-of-way work.
It's on Eaton,
Albany Pike,
Eaton Albany Pike.
We got it. Thank you, sir.
Okay, so you don't need.
Now we're good.
thank you. So again, this is for $16,855.
What's your pleasure?
Motion to approve.
Yeah, second.
We have a motion to approve this contract and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand? Yes. Commissioner Reagan?
Yes.
Commissioner Henry?
Yes.
Just one other comment for the record, that is 80-20 funds, so we have to provide a 20% match of that.
Yeah. Okay, next we'll go to 315 East Main Street proposals. Devin Carter, is that right?
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
I think so I'm here representing Sandra and Arlena, who are the tenants. That's my mother and my sister. If I understand correctly, they, brought up some letters and different things for you that you have, that I won't go over, but, she did give me some information highlight that she wanted me to read through, so I'm gonna do that the best I can, and hopefully it's understandable. So the property that they're talking about is the 315 East Main. The property at 1315 East Main Street will be for personal use, by adjoining and developing with the current residents at 1311 East Main Street, Muncie, Indiana 47305. In 2019, the property east of 1315 sold for $350. And then she put in there, please refer to the enclosed chart document which outlines the property background and its tax sale history. Unfortunately, the available records only date back to 2019, which does not enable us to show the full decline of the assessed value from the time it was first entered into the tax sale. However, the trend from 2019 onward illustrates an overall decline. The adjacent property, 1315 East Main Street, has gone through the tax sale 5 times since 2011, a pattern that reflects a broader challenge of blighted properties across Muncie, Indiana. Angela Bostic, who lived in Fishers, Indiana, an hour away, was the owner from 2009 to 2019, and remained the owner during the 2013, 2016, and 2019 tax sales. In addition, there is a chart that I believe you guys have. If not, I can bring it up to you. That shows the unsafe, unsecured structure
And even with, sections of foundations cracked and crumbled, no secure door, the roof falling in and leaving huge gaping holes, overhanging and siding, falling off, windows broke out, wild animals, homeless and addicted, drug addicts, currently that were constantly going in and out, property overgrown with tall weeds, grass, bushes, shrubs, trees, reeking of dead animals, mold, mildew, structure, the structure had asbestos, and the garage was barely standing and unsecured, full of trash and debris. And then it says, the state assessed value, records report a steady, valuation of 25,500 payable in 2018. I guess this is the taxes, I'm not sure. Yeah, tax year, 25,600 payable in 2019, and then 25,600 payable in 2020 tax year. This, and it also says this, property went unsold once again during the 2021 tax sale, and the property value decline begins, payable 2021 dropped 26% to 19,000, and then 2022 it dropped to 12,400. After acquisition by the Delaware County Commissioners, the property value increase begins at, payable 2023 to 13,400, and then up again 2024 to 16,500. The net tax and penalty grew significantly between the two most recent tax sale appearances and shows an inverse relationship to assessed value. Following the county commissioner's acquisition, the net tax and penalty do have returned to normal values. There is no tax revenue generated because the parcel is under the ownership of the government entity. There has not been another increase for the payable 2025, and the Delaware County Commissioners converted the property to a deed and still maintains ownership. To partner with the city, City of Muncie and Delaware County Commissioners as a current owner since 2023. The list below shows our out-of-pocket expense, from 2018 onward as the adjacent property owner and occupant. So they, had the relocation of off-street parking, which, it cost them $2,000, the owners, 1311. Clearing trash and debris and paraphernalia, cost them, she has $2,000. Galvanized fencing to block animal entry, $500. Fence line clearance to enable mowing of, that property to keep everything back, was $2,000. She had a 911 disturbance call from all those people, the drug addicts and different things that cost her $5,000. Animal repellent pellets and for perimeter of the residence was $300. Animal traps cost her $500 to keep it secure. Security installation was $1,800, and the proposed sketch for what she's which was offered to you, what she's going to use to beautify the area cost her $80, which was a total of $14,184 already spent in trying to upkeep the dilapidated area. She also put, we humbly offer an acquisition amount of between $500 to $2,100 since the current assessed listed value for 1315 East Main Street is $2,100, which seems to be a fair offer for vacant land in the area, resulting in tax revenue from the property as we keep the property maintained, just as we have with our current residents. With the acquisition, we would extend the east of our home to give more living space and add a sunroom patio to open out to a beautiful raised bed, which are illustrated in the sketch that she provided. The recouping of the $17,000 the Delaware County Commission spent to demolish the 1315 East Main Street, she was saying be able to come from the taxes paid along with the purchase of the property, just like any other person or company who would be acquiring the property. And And then she also noted that the proposal includes the conditions noted after the demolition of the severely dilapidated two-story house on 1315 East Main Street. It is necessary to allow the ground to stabilize before proceeding in further development of activities. The duration is currently unknown. In the meantime, the vacant lot will be maintained. She is asking that no penalties or prior penalties, special assessments, liens, or anything associated with the previous owner of 1315 East Main Street will ever be attached to her if she was to be awarded it for the proposed amount. And that's all I have. Did you guys have the sketch that you, okay.
Yes.
Any questions? Who lives in the house?
So Arlena Thomas is the owner, and her mother, Sandra Bass, which came before you, I think, right in the 21st meeting.
Yeah. Does Arlena live there?
Arlena, yes.
She lives there
Yes,
also?
they both live
They
there.
both live there, okay. And then just real quick, there was some concern from, I was going back through my notes from last meeting. A few other folks in the neighborhood were talking about tiny homes being built there.
Who?
Tiny homes.
So,
Tiny homes cannot be built. I'm just clarifying for the record. Tiny homes cannot be built there. We don't have it in our zoning ordinance.
Yeah,
All
okay.
right, so tiny homes off the table. Just want to clear that up for everybody. Any other questions?
And you have the proposal as well?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you.
Next is, Mr. Howe with the Muncie Redevelopment Commission. Sir, you might, yes. You might need that.
The Muncie Redevelopment Commission, applied, for ownership of that property as well. I'm guessing somewhere around the same time. So in essence, we submitted a plan, in essence, our, proposal for the property is that we would, take possession of it. We are trying to, have an inventory of tax deeded properties that we can, bring into development through, affordable housing programs. Normally through the construction of those homes, the city, as you mentioned earlier on the property you were doing, or that you were talking about the match, we would have to do a match or 10% of the project we need to contribute to that project. Those properties those developments are supported by low-income tax credits, and the low-income tax credits would help construct homes that would be leased to own. So we would take that into we are looking and talking to someone now about doing this, probably somewhere around 50 units. Some would be kind of a vertical development of multi-unit, and then 25, if we can have enough lots to do this. 25 would be on single-family homes built on lots.
Kind of like something down there on North Walnut across from the new YMCA, something like that.
Those are market rate homes, so it would be similar to the homes that were done in the City View. I think the company that built those for us built, I think, 61 homes in about 18 months. We have a housing shortage.
Yes.
I think that gets disputed from time to time. We have a housing shortage. We've had market studies done. The market studies show that we have about, before the project on Kilgore started, I guess it's not completed yet, so we have 2,405 units short of affordable housing in the market. And so we are trying to provide those. Now, obviously some of those folks are living someplace today, but the great concern is they're living places that aren't suitable for people to live in, and we need to develop housing for those purposes. And like I say, these would be, the single family homes are always leased to own. They lease them for a while, and then the multi-unit would be rent. And affordable housing would support, and we all know people that would qualify for affordable housing. I mean, the person who checks you out at the grocery store your child's teacher, staff at the hospital, people at, staff at the university. I mean, it fits the needs of a lot of people. But like I said, we do have a shortage, and we have a number of properties in the redevelopment commission today. Some of those, were not, acquired through tax deed. We will look to have those developed, but when we start looking at the projects where we have to do, where they're supported by the low-income tax credit, our projects score better for the credit, which makes the projects feasible for the developer if they are brought in through a tax deed. And today we are short. Like I said, we're talking to somebody now, about trying to get 50 homes. I know, and when you read the paper, somebody disputes apartments as homes, but 50 homes, including apartments and homes, we're trying to get those done, and we're trying to find the matches. My proposal to you says we would like to have, these, property approved, and qualify so we could do something in this cycle. The cycle is coming short, so it is possible that if we were to, have this property, that we wouldn't do anything this cycle, because like I say, that it's coming short, and we've still got some work to get done, and it's competitive. So there may be other projects somewhere else that might qualify and score better. But the intent is to revitalize some of the neighborhoods and to try to do these things on existing infrastructure. We can go out and find places to put these things and build streets and put in sewers and things like that. But, as you know, cities and streets are often considered assets, but what they really are is their liability, because you have to maintain them, and it takes a considerable amount of money. We have a lot of empty lots on streets in Muncie that if we could build on them, the sewer's already there, electricity's there, and the streets are there, sidewalks. So that's our plan for the property.
I will speak, for, the Washington Street homeowners. They'd like to be talking with you on this project. Old East End, Washington.
We've talked to them about a couple things. And like I say, we've tried to build projects in, throughout the city. And, I think, in the last couple of years, probably more like 4 or 5 years, we've built, somewhere in the neighborhood of 600 homes, in just about every council district, in the city.
Would there be a chance that you could work with the ladies to the west, maybe selling half a lot to them? Would that be enough?
I don't know the size of the lot. There has to be enough to build a house on it.
Well,
I mean, we have to have enough to build a house, or there's.
how many lots will be there? Because
This is a single lot.
Single lot.
So
Is
they
it
would
just
probably
single right
build
now?
a single-family home here as
I was thinking
infill,
there was one next to it, I'm sorry.
as infill.
I think there's one next to it's empty, right?
Yeah, I'm
But
thinking.
a map that we have,
I think the owner, the
yeah,
adjacent property owner owns it.
right.
Okay, I was wrong.
So would MRC be interested in taking a lot that we have that has a house on it?
I would say possibly, yes. I mean, it may have to re-raise to build something else on it. We have, I don't know if it's appropriate at this point, but we have submitted a proposal, for you to consider at some point, to have an arrangement where we could take a look at that. We need to make sure we have enough tax deeded properties so we can do these projects, and we don't, and we need to, and so we have reached out to put a proposal, to you folks to see if we could get on a kind of an annual schedule, if you will, to look at the properties that you have, see which ones can be developed, for these kinds of purposes, and then have an arrangement where we can get those from you.
And I think that's appropriate. The problem I have is we get these houses through tax sale or whatever, we end up with them.
Mm-hmm.
And then the city ends up sending us a notice that we need to mow this property, which we don't keep track of every single property we own.
Mm-hmm.
But I would be interested in, I don't want to own property like that.
Mm-hmm.
I would rather you guys take it and just deal with it.
Right.
But I also don't want to spend like we did here. I also don't want to spend 17,000 or 10,000 to tear down a house and then just give it away either.
Right.
So you understand where I'm at with it.
Yes, I would tell you, to be honest with you, I would probably need to take a look at what resources we have to do some of that, and maybe talk to some of my developers about, how that would, whether we give to them site ready, which is what we've done, which is typically what we've done, and a lot of the houses, a lot of the lots that we have demoed the homes. So I think that if trying to be more strategic, because I'm sure you are as well, about
Sure.
what we have and what we can use. And like I say, as I've looked at it, we have some lots that don't really work for us for this.
Yeah.
So we need to do the same thing. I need to find some folks that might build homes on them, because it doesn't do us any good to have them in inventory, and maintain them if
Sure.
they don't help us match this affordable housing initiative that we have.
Absolutely. Any other questions? I really think in the future we need to really look at
Oh, I agree 100%. And this proposed interlocal agreement, which I believe Mr. Brook has a copy of and you do as well, I'm interested in doing something longer term and more strategic here, as you mentioned.
Yeah.
Even if it includes the MRC having to take on a few properties that have houses on them, the developers are going to have to figure out how to tear them down. We don't want to,
or remodel them.
if possible. But if that were possible, every for-profit remodeler in the county would be doing it, right? I mean, there's a reason there's blight. There's no money in it, right? So,
What we found, some of the commercial properties we talked about, the cost of the retrofit, some of these structures, I won't say necessarily houses, but some of the buildings, it's costly.
Sure.
They're better off ground up.
Yeah, I understand that.
So I would ask Mr. Brook to look over this interlocal agreement per the Commissioner Henry's comments. Please work directly with Mr. Howe to make this mutually beneficial. If you have to make it favorable towards somebody, make it favorable towards the county.
Nice, but check.
Yeah. And I would like to do something longer term. with the
Absolutely.
interlocal.
I agree 100%.
What are we gonna do with 1315?
Oh, do we need to table this?
No,
Well, the interlocal's not on the agenda. That was just a side topic, but we have two proposals in front of us for 1315. One from Mr. Devin Carter that just gave a proposal, and one from the Muncie Redevelopment Commission, where this is a tax deed property. And for the record, for clarification, John, Delaware County doesn't own these properties, right? We're in possession of the deed during this time?
No, actually, this one is owned by Delaware County. This went through the deed sale back in 2022. The owner decided that he didn't want it, so he deeded it back to the county. And so it is actually deeded to the county. This isn't a true tax deed like some of the properties are.
When it is a tax deed, though,
It was a tax deed that got it to the prior owner, but then said, I don't want any more costs for renovation, were too high, so he wanted to give it back, so it came back to the county because it was a tax deed process.
Okay.
We had a couple of those over the years where they don't know what they're buying, and they get into it, and they decide that they don't want it, so, but it was a deed sale.
gotcha. Mr. Howard, would you go back to the podium, please? So you made a comment that if we were to get you this property, it would work for your bigger program for possibly infill with your contractors, but you might not make this cycle. If we give you this property today and it doesn't make this cycle, you plan to maintain this property so it's not a burden on the,
Yes, and in fact, I would go further to say, based on the comments that were made, if we determine that it's not usable for us, if it's not a true tax deed, I'll have to talk to the folks that will qualify this. If it doesn't, then we're happy to work with the other folks.
to get it to the neighbors.
That's fair.
Yeah, we just like to be able to use it if we can, but if we can't, there's no reason for us to hold it and not do anything with it. So we'd make our best efforts to see if it qualifies. If it doesn't qualify now, we'll maintain it until we can get into the cycle that we can use it. And if we determine that it doesn't help us, we can work with them.
And to Commissioner Reagan's comment, you will work with the neighborhood to make sure it's architecturally blends in, right? Yeah. Okay.
Just for the information, since this is a private owner as opposed to a not-for-profit tax exempt entity, since it's a private owner, there are certain more hoops that have to be jumped through. One of them is publishing a notice that is for sale, or to be sold. We can do that, have that, published, have people that give Mr. House some time to check with his people, and then come back for written proposals for purchasing the property. And then you make the decision on what you want to do with it, whether you want to give it to the redevelopment commission, or you want to sell it to the neighbor, the adjacent landowner. There is that process that we've done. We did with 1700 East McGuire. So it's a publication. It's a process that allows some time for Mr. Howe to check with his people and determine what they want to do. If you want to go forward that way, otherwise you can just table it and then we'll have to start the process at the next meeting.
Seems fair to me.
So,
I mean, we're really not in any hurry. I mean, of course, the grass is growing and does need to be cut.
So if you publish it for sale, if we determine that we can't use it, we will not then submit.
correct.
Yeah. That's why I thought it'd give some time for you to check with your people.
Yeah, that would be fine, because I, like I said, I was under the impression it was a tax deed, so it may be different than it was my understanding.
So, John, you want to prepare everything then?
Yes, I can do that to get it started.
Yes. Is next meeting, can we do it next meeting, or does it have to be,
Let's see.
will it need to be in a month?
I think I can get it published because it has to be 10 days before the meeting, and I think I can get it published within the next day or two.
Okay. I'd entertain a motion to table, the 315 East Main Street
And publish for,
and publish and get it ready to, we'll make a determination, hopefully next meeting.
so moved.
Second.
A motion to table this in a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes. And then, John, you also review the interlocal and work on it as well.
Yes, I'll make
Okay.
some revisions
Okay.
to it and then submit it for your review.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Howe.
Should we ask Mr. Humbert if he could cut the grass for us? We would have to pay him since he's highway money.
Can you guys keep an eye on that?
Yeah.
315 East Main.
1350.
Or 1315 East Main. Yeah, don't lose something.
I think as the one lady has to take care of it,
Just make sure that it's, you guys do a drive-by and make sure it doesn't need mowed in the next couple weeks. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we have, Delaware County Mental Health Facility Change Order, Mark Manship.
Yes, this is change order number 1 for the project. I asked Mr. Manship here in case you had any questions. This is something that the Board of Commissioners approved 2 or 3 meetings ago. This is just to extend it doesn't cost anything, it's just to extend the deadline for the completion of the project. And this is just a written document, so we need an official approval of this written document, get it signed, so it can be part of the contract, part of the record.
We've already approved it, it just never got signed.
Right, yes.
Right.
All right.
It's a no-cost change order.
Right, no cost change order.
So moved.
Second.
We have a motion to approve this and a second. Do you have the original in your file?
I didn't receive that.
Okay.
We'll get it to you.
For you guys to sign that. I received it.
Okay, but you have one now. Okay. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes. Thank you. Thank you. Next, we have, pay gov agreement, Mr. Spangler. You still here?
Yep. Migrating.
Good morning, Commissioners. Rick Spangler, Delaware County Clerk. I also have along with me Jeff Hansard from Adult Probation. We have given you a contract where we are asking to change our, what will we call them, our service provider vendor for our electronic payments. Our current provider is just not providing the service. That's what got us started looking. But this new provider, along with having a better service agreement, they also are going to offer our clients a better price, especially on the lower priced charges. So Jeff might elaborate here too.
Yeah, on the probation side, when Rick and I started discussing this, obviously we take a lot of payments, fees, probation user fees and so forth. So this vendor, PayGov, has a better pricing structure for individuals to make a payment with a card. Most of our payments from our clients are $30 or below. It's a flat $1 fee instead of the typical 3.5%, and more of a local company as well. So there's a little more responsive to customer service issues. This was approved by the Board of Judges to move forward for the probation end, since we are a function of the court. So they are have a concurrence on that as well.
What's the
I
cost?
checked to make sure that this is compatible with all of our other software, and so that it won't cause a problem.
The cost here is neutral,
Yeah, no fees to you guys at all.
and I see it's for a month-to-month term, cancelable 30 days, written notice
30
by
days written
by
notice,
either
yeah.
party. And if they choose to cancel, can you adjust in 30 days? Or do you need more time? Like that might not be a good deal. It sounds good, but maybe
Yeah.
it's not.
With us, there's so many people out there offering this service, we could have somebody in here in 24 hours. I'm not
Okay.
concerned about that. And
I just,
Yeah.
if you can react in 30 days, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion to approve this contract with PayGov, and a second roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes, thank you, guys.
thank you.
Next, we have Comcast agreements for the mental health facility. This is a Comcast agreement that we need to get signed. I just wanted approval in the meeting, before anyone signs this. John, did you go over this?
Yes, I did. I didn't see any issues with it.
There are actually two agreements here. There's a master service agreement and a statement of work that the President, Commissioner Henry, would need to sign. And just reading the numbers into the record, this would be $755.05 a month, or a total of $9,060.60 a year, plus some equipment fees that we would see on recurring charges of another $39.95 a year, or $479. So a total for the year of $9,540. This is for the new facility that's being built by the Justice Center, and they need this installed so they can get inspections and get certificate of occupancy. Right?
This has your name on it.
Does it? Okay. I'm
Yeah.
glad to sign it. So if we do, we'll have to make.
I've got a couple
motions.
questions.
Yeah.
I assume you worked with Jim Luke on this,
Yes. Jim is involved.
Jim was involved.
and the invoicing address is gonna be sent out to the Justice Center?
That's 3100 South Tillotson. That's a good point.
Well,
You want it
It's
to
a-
your email address, correct?
Not necessarily to my email address, but to the office address.
That's what I mean,
Yeah.
your office email address.
100
Yeah.
and 103, correct?
So will you get Commissioner Brand that email address so we can make that corrected?
We'll just change the billing address to 100 East Main Street, room 103, is it?
Yes.
Correct.
Yes.
And I can get you the email address and send it to you.
Yeah, right now it's, Commissioner Brand's email, so we need to change that, if you can read it.
It is small.
Very
It's
small.
like 3 font.
Yeah,
Yeah.
If there is such a thing.
so we'll make those changes. Is everybody good with that?
Yep.
Motion to approve?
Yes.
Second.
We have a motion to approve this contract and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes. Will you have to call them?
I can call them.
I think so, because this is all DocuSign.
They have a DocuSign, but I asked them for a PDF version, so if we want to make a wet signature today, we can do it.
Okay.
But we'll make the corrections to the address and the email address
Yeah, okay.
per Auditor Carroll.
Should,
Prior to doing that.
should we look at the account name? Because right now it's coming to the auditor's office, but it's actually to the attention of mental health.
It's for that facility out there.
Yeah.
So this is
For
to
the
get,
new facility.
this is to get internet to the facility.
Right. What I'm saying is that, you have a second line here is called the building
Oh,
name.
the billing name.
The building name would be more applicable for the mental health facility.
Yeah.
I just wanna make sure the bill gets directly to the officer, gets paid.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
We have one additional thing that didn't make the agenda. John asked for, there's a pay request for the mental health facility, for the BOT for $486,615.10. This was submitted by Dustin Fry.
His pay request number was 4, I believe.
At the top.
Uh,
Maybe it's on the second page. Let's see it. I highlighted it.
Sarah had indicated to me that she had received these, she had just usually just sent the claim off for payment, that these weren't specifically paid. I know you did, you approved the first one, and then this is the next one I saw, but Sarah had been getting those and putting them through just the regular claims process.
Yeah.
maybe I'm missing it.
We were having trouble getting them paid on time, and if we have to approve each one, comes in, let's slow it down.
Yeah, John, it doesn't appear to say exactly which number this is, which pay claim number it is.
Yeah. They finally put an invoice, they didn't have the invoice at first.
Yeah, there's detail now,
Very,
which we asked for.
much better.
Again, it's a progress payment. It's a disbursement request, $486,615.10. This is being paid out of ARP, correct?
Yes.
Sure. $486,615.10. Motion to approve.
Motion to
Second,
approve that in a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Reagan,
yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes. Okay, next we have, ordinance for first reading, ordinance, 2025-10, an ordinance to amend the ordinance regulating traffic on certain public streets in Delaware County. This is in reference to the public hearing, and this is the first reading. So I'd entertain a motion to introduce this ordinance.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion to introduce and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand.
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan.
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes. Ordinances for second reading, a resolution number 2025-009. Do you have that, Commissioner Brand?
I do. So this is a proclamation honoring Dr. Donna Wilkins for declaring June 27th, 2025 as Donna Wilkins Day in Delaware County. So Donna's been our Chief Health Officer for Delaware County for 3 decades, and she recently announced her retirement on June 27th, and the commissioners would like to honor her with a proclamation. So proclamation honoring Dr. Donna Wilkins and declaring June 27th, 2025 as Donna Wilkins Day in Delaware County, Indiana. Whereas Dr. Donna Wilkins faithfully served the people of Delaware County as Chief Health Officer since 1988, providing more than 3 decades of exceptional leadership in public health. And whereas Dr. Wilkins began her distinguished medical career at Ball Memorial Hospital, now Indiana University Health Ball Memorial Hospital, where she worked in the neonatal intensive care unit, also known as the NICU, and other critical care units, offering life-saving care and comfort to our most vulnerable patients. And whereas through her work in both clinical medicine and public health, Dr. Wilkins has been a tireless advocate for the health, safety, and well-being of all Delaware County residents, especially during times of crisis and public health challenges. And whereas Dr. Wilkins has earned the admiration and respect of her colleagues, community leaders, and residents through her unwavering commitment, professional excellence, and compassionate care. And whereas after decades of dedicated service, Dr. Wilkins will retire on June 27th, 2025, leaving behind a legacy of integrity, resilience, and public service that will continue to benefit our community for generations to come. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the Board of Commissioners of Delaware County, Indiana, that The Delaware County Board of Commissioners do hereby recognize and express deep appreciation to Dr. Donna Wilkins for her extraordinary service and contributions to the health and well-being of Delaware County. That the citizens of Delaware County, Indiana, have been faithfully and honorably served by the professional competence and judicious use of communication, knowledge, technical skills, clinical reasoning, emotions, values, and reflection in daily practice for the benefit of the entire community being served from Dr. Donna Wilkins. Be it further proclaimed that June 27th shall be known as Donna Wilkins Day in Delaware County, Indiana, in honor of her lasting legacy and profound impact on our community, and then witnessed by the three commissioners. So Dr. Wilkins couldn't be with us today. I believe she's watching. So,
Well,
Well done.
Dr. Wilkins is an icon here in Delaware County, and I think, if you've had children at Ball Hospital, chances are Donna was there in the room when all these children was born, and I mean, she's touched many, many, many of lives in this county in her lifetime, and we greatly appreciate Dr. Donna Wilkins and everything she's done for this county. So,
She took care of two of my kids down there in the DICU, and now I've got grandkids from them, so.
yeah, she's touched a lot of people.
I'll kind of share a conversation I had with her. When she came here, she would maybe only have maybe 1 or 2 a week. And it's grown. Matter of fact, December 2012, 1 week at Ball Hospital. Sad to say, we had 13 babies in that unit. And 10 out of the 13 were illegal and legal drugs. So I can tell you that she is going to be very missed.
yeah, same for me. In 1999, we had monoamniotic twins, and I believe it's the first surviving set of monoamniotic twins in Delaware County due to Dr. Wilkins and Dr. Kundenreich and all the nurses. And we spent 9 weeks in the NICU. They were around 3 pounds, both of them.
Well, Doctor, if you're watching, we truly appreciate
Thanks for your service.
everything you've done for us. Okay, go on to department heads and elected officials. We have Justice Center equipment.
Thank you. Oh, do we need to vote on that?
Oh, we do, I'm sorry, yeah.
Second.
All right, that's a motion and a second to approve the, resolution 2025-009, proclamation honoring Dr. Donna Wilkins. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Absolutely.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes. Again, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Stanley, I'm sorry.
Morning, Commissioners. Jeff Stanley, Chief Deputy Sheriff's Office. Also with me is Jane Miranda, Director of Community Corrections. Several months ago, I sent you an email asking for your assistance to see if you could help us with the current fitness room out at the Justice Center. So, just a little history. The original fitness center, or the gym, at the old jail, we actually built that. The Sheriff's Office built that using asset forfeiture money back in 2008. So, around 2008, the last paperwork I can find, I believe, was 2008. But as you can imagine, a lot of that equipment is original. It's been used, as you know, it's been used by several hundred people that's in the building, and they use it daily, 24 hours, 7 days a week. So a lot of it's in need of some upgrade. So what I've asked a couple guys on my department if they could attempt to get a couple quotes or get a quote. We couldn't find any local business to actually sell this type of equipment, commercial grade equipment. So the best we could come up with was Rogue Fitness, and they're out of Ohio, so they're fairly close. The original gym, like I said, back in 2008, we spent $21,000 out of asset forfeiture money. That includes the floors, the mirrors, all the equipment, the weights, machines, cardio, and everything. So one of the cost savings that we're hoping to do is because this equipment from Rogue Fitness is being bought out of Ohio and it's fairly close, the delivery fee is gonna be free. And then for installation, we'll use my SWAT team or our SWAT team and the sheriff's CERT team to actually install the equipment. So we're asking for your help. This quote here is for about almost $42,000. And that's for all new equipment to outfit the entire fitness facility that again will be used by all the employees, Delaware County employees.
Anyone have any questions?
I don't appreciate your effort.
Surely we
So
should
where
find some.
would we fund this from? ARP or edit? We have an edit plan that expires June 30th, which we're working on putting our new edit plan together. I don't know what's in ARP.
If we use ARP, we just need another estimate, right?
I don't think we need another estimate, do we, John?
I thought the ARP
Not
needed.
for ARP. Ed, I need those ARP totals ASAP. I need the total and, revenue replacement plus half the interest total. That's what I need.
We're talking about half the interest and what goes into ARP. The grant for the mental health facility, the $2.5 million, when that comes to Delaware County, will that go back into ARP?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, we got that confirmed, because we've been paying out of ARP right now, just like that payout that we just did, that $469,000. So that'll be $2.5 million going back into ARP.
Right. If we get another grant before 26, or by the end of 26, that money would also go back in.
I'd like to make a motion to approve this out of ARP, considering that the results of what Commissioner Henry's asked for show that there are sufficient funds.
Second.
A motion to approve the purchase and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Next, we have the county distributor truck, Mr. Humbert.
Yeah, commissioners, a couple weeks ago, myself, Commissioner Brand, other county employees, sat down with the city of Muncie, went over some stuff. We actually, the maintenance supervisor, Shane Slavin, came up with a pretty good idea about our old distributor truck, which we're gonna put in an auction. I think this could really benefit the city. They're interested in this truck. We tried to do some comparisons, see what it's worth. I would honestly like to waive all that. I would actually like to give this to the city. I feel like we've got a good working relationship with them. And, I mean, it's gonna stay in our community and be used by our community. And this is a truck that, it was working in 2020 when we got our new truck. So, what Shane said was, which he's not here today, that I can get with him if you guys grant this. We're gonna try to get everything up and working and good, it's just set. It's set since 2020. There's really no price that we can put on it. We try to compare stuff, but I honestly think that that's really irrelevant. I would like to give it to the city of Muncie.
I did a little bit of research on the Gov auctions, and it looks like $2,000 to $4,000, and these things are going for. They're all low miles because nobody hardly ever drives them.
They're not gonna use it for paving though, right? They're gonna use it for storing emulsion.
I think, I'm not sure exactly. I mean, there's different things they can use it for depending on what they want to do with it, which the truck has low mileage on it. Shane wanted to get everything in, freed up where it's just set out in the elements, but this truck is in good working order, but like I said, that's my proposal. I'd like to give it.
So there is an interlocal from February 16th of 21 about sharing the use of the TAC tank at the highway department. And this would make it so they didn't have to go out to the highway department. And this is one of the assets that's on our sell list for this cycle around anyway. Now, I believe the interlocal would stay in place, and it captures a number of other things that the county and the city do together. the whole purpose of this meeting that we had, that Mr. Humbert mentioned, was to talk about the 6,000 gallon tank out at the highway department. And I believe the city actually paid for that.
What's your pleasure?
I'm sorry, 17,750 each. I'd like to make a motion to transfer this asset to the city. We need the VIN and the title, but
I will definitely have to get with Jenna about the title. Shane was going to look this morning, but like I said, he's on vacation today, so.
John, will that take a resolution?
Yes, technically, you could do that now, but I'll prepare the resolution.
Okay. All right. So we have a motion to approve the request
Second.
and a second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Brand,
yes.
Mr. Reagan,
Yes.
Henry.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Humbert.
Thank you. I want to also mention, which I mentioned to you guys, at least just let the other people know, and I don't have, I have it here. We will have no second call on our community crossing this year. So if you see that the county highway didn't get anything, it's not because we didn't apply. They actually closed the second, calling down for 2025 due to House Bill 1461. So anyway, I'm sure you guys are all aware, but everybody will know, when they see we didn't get anything, well, nobody's gonna get anything because it's been canceled.
I would look for decreased funds in that in the future as well.
Yeah, absolutely, there's gonna be a lot of minimal stuff and I'm gonna say they're gonna probably look at the smaller communities and it's gonna be decreased funds on, unfortunately for us, because that was a major asset for us. That's it. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
My name's Don Chambers. I'm the superintendent of maintenance for Delaware County. Me and Mr. Brand have been talking to several different people about mowing contracts right there at the Justice Center. I've got 5 total that came in. I've got their quotes and their bids and their bids and their certificate of insurance. So, I don't know how you want me to do this. Do you just want to bring them up there to you guys? Do you guys look at them or?
Who was the lowest bid?
Well, I can't remember what Droopy Lawn Care was. Cause he came in and talked to us.
I believe he told us when he talked to us, he was gonna leave it the same, which was like $850 per mow.
Correct.
Okay.
Something different.
Well, bi-weekly here from ABS Services is $520 for every 2 weeks a month. That's blowing and trimming. And there's Golden's Lawn Service. His was bi-weekly is $562.50 every 2 weeks. And then there's J Crew, which is for every 2 weeks, they want 9,000. Well, for the whole time, they didn't break it down. Well, each price is $825 a month. And then from Brown's Property Maintenance, it's $2,032.50 a month.
We have Droopy's Lawn Care mowing until we figure this out. Is that correct?
We do, yeah.
I would suggest that you bring the bids up. Commissioner Brand, would you want to put those on a spreadsheet? Sure. And we'll look at those next meeting. So yeah, once you make sure Commissioner Brand gets those and, we'll decide next meeting. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just hoping that maybe by next year, I'd like to be able to have another mower. Possibly we can mow it ourselves, save the county a lot of money.
I understand.
Yep.
Thank
Thanks.
you. Any other department heads?
Pam McCammon, I just want to bring to everyone's attention, and we're finishing up on the audit for our benefits. And we've extended the date once again. Final date is going to be May 15th. So go back and tell all your employees, make sure they've got them in. We have sent letters out, registered letters, so they ought to be, we had this last week. But if they don't get them into us by May 15th, there's a chance that they're going to lose their insurance.
Is that dependent or spousal?
The dependent,
It is dependent also.
yes.
What about spousal?
It's all the same, they have to. give
Okay,
all the
okay,
information.
I wanna be clear, cause we've
Okay.
talked about both. So you have till May 15th,
Have that form filled out completely.
Yep.
Whether you have a spouse on it or dependents,
right?
it has to have their,
Information,
all
or
their information.
we're gonna take them off insurance.
That's correct.
Okay, thank you.
Technically, you'll be taking the benefits off the insurance. The employee still remains on the insurance.
Yeah, absolutely,
But there won't be any benefits
Exactly.
for their dependents,
correct.
including a spouse.
That's the final date, cause
We're not gonna
to be honest with you,
extend
I'm
it
sick
any
of dealing with this.
This has been going on since
So,
April,
yeah.
so. we
Thank
need to
you.
Wrap it up, uh-huh.
Any other department heads or elected officials? Okay, we have payment of claims, $3,216,606.91.
So move.
I am not gonna second that. I believe we have a correction. So it was said that we didn't have any ARP claims, but I believe there are ARP claims in here of $932,002.80. So if you deduct that from the $3,216,606.91, it brings the corrected claims amount to $2,284,604.11. I believe that's correct.
Good catch.
Which one it was in.
And it wasn't flagged with the ARP on there.
Well, it does say ARP.
Okay.
That's edit. Anyway, it's clearly called out. I just didn't mark it. These are the copies that go online. It's not that. It's wheel tax. It might be in that one you have, Shane.
Yeah, that's correct. Yep, you're correct. ARP claims of $932,002.80, is that correct?
That's
Yes,
correct, yep.
that's correct. So, Marissa, do you have those totals? It's 932,002.80. Yep,
So the corrected claims total is $2,284,604.11, and I would
You
make
get those?
a motion to approve the corrected claims number.
So move.
okay, we have a motion to approve the corrections and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
No,
Commissioner Henry.
Yes, we have the payment of payroll for 4/9/2025, $1,048,950.13.
so moved. Second.
Motion to pay payroll and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Henry.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Well, I kind of did that. Corrections.
Okay. That's right.
Okay. Ed, you okay with the way I said that?
That's fine.
With the corrections, okay. All right, next we have, are you guys okay to move forward?
I'm ready.
Okay. Devin Carter, and I believe he signed up, but he's no longer here.
Yeah.
Robert Schroyer?
I'm Robert Schroyer, 7110 East Centennial Avenue. I've been fairly familiar with the commissioner meetings for probably 40 years. I've sat through a lot of them here. About 4 years ago, I decided to give up and quit, but occasionally I decide to take and come back and advise the commissioners that whatever my opinion is. We have a new sheriff in town in Washington, D.C. I foresee the states getting much more power including the county commissioners right here in front of you. I think that we've got to take and tread gently with what is in front of us. I hope that commissioners can handle the project better than some outrageous HMO groups do. Just having somebody complain about needing a stop sign or a speed limit or something of that nature does not make it set in gold. That's what ought to be done. I've asked for a lot of things in the past and not received them, and not mad about it because I know that you're trying to benefit the whole community, not just me. The biggest thing that I see is the proposals today for the stop signs and the speed limit signs. It's going to take probably 5 more policemen and at least 2 more police cars to be able to just patrol what you're trying to put in front of people. If you put these signs in nobody's paying any attention to speed limits. Why do it? I mean, it's not, I'm not telling you let things run wild, but we've had several speed limit signs put up, and needless to say, they're not. The stop signs, if you put too many up, they'll become yield signs where you just slow down instead of stopping. So please tread cautiously on this subject. Another one that I have a little bit of comment on is real estate values. In Randolph County, if you pay attention to what land is selling for, farm ground that is, it's selling for more than what it is in Delaware County. I feel there's 2 reasons for that, and it's been somewhat the politics has caused this. One is there's a lot of windmills and solar panels in Randolph County, which gives the farmers an extra amount of money. And that brings the price of the farm ground up because they've got this extra cash. The other thing is the property taxes in Randolph County is less than Delaware County. And that is because of this extra investment. We pay Brad Book out about $150,000 a year, or less that I know, to promote businesses to come to Delaware County. It makes it a harder sell to take, and he can probably only adjust people's taxes, new businesses, for 5 or maybe 10 years. But then it's going to come back to them, and they're long-term businesses that want to come here, I hope. So I would like to see.
That's your time, sir, and
All right,
I'll just,
thank you very much.
I'll just follow up by saying Mr. Bookout no longer performs that duty for the county. Brian Shaw.
Hi there, Brian Shaw, 600 East Washington Street, here. So I wanted to talk a little bit about 1315 East Main Street, Arlena Thomas and Sandra Bass seeking that property. Our neighborhood association is putting together a letter of support for them. I would like to know who I need to send that to. Just your general email boxes for the commissioners, does that work?
Yeah, send it to the commissioners, that's fine.
All right, I will send it there. Let's see here, just in general about houses that enter this scenario. So like this one, we spent $17,000 to knock this down. I mean, historically, these homes that go through these tax sales multiple times leads to really demolition by neglect or partial demolition by neglect. So I would ask you to look at ways to fix that scenario, you know, whether it's through ordinance or whatnot, if someone doesn't pay their taxes after acquiring a property in an auction, ban them from ever being able to purchase another property. And maybe also have maybe a different tax rate for something that's come out of a sale like that. Higher tax rate off the bat, and then you can get it to go down. In fact, you actually do something with the property. Some other things maybe you can partner with the city on. So if I were to acquire a property that I want to fix up and live in myself, there are certain things I can do and certain things I can't do. If it were out in the county, I can pull a permit, down, I think it's downstairs, to be able to do the electrical myself. I have to pay for the inspections and whatnot. In the city, I can't do that. I have to pay an electrician. And for a house like the size of the one that was torn down, that'll probably cost you about $35,000 to $40,000 to rewire the place. If there's a way to partner with the city to make a reinvestment type of scenario there for people to come in and take advantage of what you already have going on here in the county, being able to pull a permit and do it in the city with the proper inspections, of course. I think that could help. So look for ways that you can help people that live in Muncie with these houses that go into your tax sales, and maybe you'll see some more investment there. It's difficult to come up with that kind of cash to rewire a house, and if you don't rewire a house, you're going to pay out the nose for insurance if you can get insurance for that. As far as the MRC getting that property back on the 1315 East Main, I'm going to attend their meetings to try to find out more there, but did any of you catch whether is that a not-for-profit that's doing that, or was that a for-profit company that would be doing that Jeff Howe was proposing? I didn't catch.
I don't believe he specified.
You didn't? Okay. So I'm just curious, because again, tax revenue, right? If it's a not-for-profit, you're not going to get anything back out of that property, right? Yeah. Whereas with Arlena and Sandra, you would. So, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a good one.
Thank you. Cheryl Swingley?
Cheryl Swingley, 3908 North Vienna Woods Drive. I just have a couple comments about today. Did not come with any prepared statement. There was a question raised earlier about solar and who pays the difference in the property tax between the value of the farmland and what it becomes when solar is put on it. My understanding is, and the landowners are very private about their contracts, however, I did verify that they are recorded in the recorder's office, that most of the time the solar company pays the difference for the tax. The farmer continues to pay what they've always paid, but then the company, or that can be arranged in their contract, their personal contract with the solar company. The second point is that there's not been any successful decommissioning projects yet, and that's true, I'm sure. But the Indianapolis Airport solar fields have been in operation since 2014. That might be a good place to check to see how things have been going and how repairs have been made. They've had a number of storms and all that sort of thing. And Bob Kester, who's not here today, was a consultant on that. He's an internationally known energy expert, and he headed up the Center for Energy at Ball State and is now retired. So we have someone right in our backyard with all sorts of expertise about energy. The third point was the half-mile property value guarantee. There's a new study out from Loyola University that I'll share with you that is showing that it does not have, renewable projects do not have a negative effect on property value. The Plan Commission paid a consultant, I forget how many years ago it was now, a couple of years ago, and she said that there was no way to enforce those. So I just bring that up again. And then fourth, I have about private solar here in the community. We don't have any more development. I was involved with the beginning of Solarize Indiana. I was the first person in Muncie to have solar panels put on my house through this program. And we don't have that any longer because the state legislature took away net metering. So that gives homeowners no incentive to put solar on their roofs. Finally, with community solar, Indiana is one of the few states in the whole nation that does not have a community solar ordinance or law. Without that, we cannot proceed with community solar to make it beneficial for our communities. So that's where you might be able to put on brownfields, but there's even a question about that because of pollution and contamination. Because remediation might have to take place before we could even put solar panels on a brownfield. And I think that's basically it.
Thank you. Thank you. All right, that's all of the public comments. Mr. Riggin, do you have any final?
Well, I'd like to say to Mr. Schroyer, good to see you back. And, we know stop signs go up and they do get missed. We do hope that, when the county sheriff's departments are out in the evenings, they can, maybe pull over in a parking lot and check some people that are going down the roads because, it is a problem, but, we have to do what we have to do to stop any more, accidents. But good to see you, Robert. He used to come quite often. He's down in Florida still, maybe in the wintertime. Yeah.
Commissioner Brand?
Yep, thank you. So, might be a question also for Mr. Brook. Was researching a little bit. Senate Enrolled Act 135 requires local redistricting authorities to redistrict or recertify districts before June 30th of 2025. So most commissioner districts are at large, so to speak, although we split them up. I'm just wondering if we don't need to take action before June 30th on this Senate Enrolled Act 135 to either recertify our commissioner districts or to redo the commissioner districts.
I'll take a look at
Thank you.
135 to see.
Also, we didn't have an Employee of the Month nomination from either the Justice Center or the county building this month, so I guess now they're the employee of 2 months from last month. They can continue.
Any department, right?
Any department, absolutely. Last meeting I mentioned the training, the No Before training. Make sure you're taking that. I believe the deadline's here pretty soon. I did learn that I can get a report for that, who takes it, who doesn't take it, and I can get reports from who didn't take it in the past. And it's kind of disgusting, honestly, who's not taken their required training. So I'll be reviewing that report with each elected official and department head. 600 West paving on or about May 12th. CenterPoint Energy went out there right after we paved that road and made about 19 or 20 cuts in it. We met with them out there, and they are going to repave that road basically from 400 North south through Bethel, and it'll be again on or about May 12th. Walnut Street, here I'm out here vacuuming still. That's been down for about a week. They told me, I stopped in there last Friday, they said it'd probably be at least another week on that. The 12th Street Bridge out by the bypass, they've now switched to the other lane. They have advertised a 10-day delay. Commissioner Henry asked about penalties for that. It's $3,000 a day. Since it's an 80-20, if they do get penalized $3,000 a day, 80% of that goes back to the feds, 20% of it comes to us. But right now they're on a 10-day delay. Gas prices, I think in the January 6th meeting, I brought up gas prices in Delaware County on average are more expensive than most other counties in the state. We have Daleville to thank for bringing our gas prices down. Just yesterday, gas price in Daleville is $2.77, and at the corner of University and Tillotson, it was $3.25. 48 cents a gallon difference. So pay attention to where you're buying your gas, buy it where it's inexpensive. It's worth the drive out to Daleville, so glad to see that happening. I think I'll stop there. Thank you.
We have a meeting scheduled for the planning commission yet for solar? Yeah.
Eileen Swackhammer from the Planning Commission. No, we do not. We have not received the final copy of the proposal.
Okay.
Once we receive that, we can set the meeting, but we have been in talks with the Justice Center to get their availability. We have our attorney's availability, and we have talked with the Planning Commission members to let them know what we're working on.
John, can we get that
Yes,
over there?
yes. I think, there were some changes that Colleen had seen from the draft that we had that Danielle was working on, so
Okay,
I sent her a text with her in the course of the meeting. She's gonna get that done today.
perfect. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, our attorney just told us we could not set the meeting until we
I
have that.
understand, sure, yep. I get it. I know we've changed around a few times. All right, if there's nothing else, I would entertain a motion for recess.
So move.
Second.
I have a motion to recess and a second. Roll call, please.
Commissioner Brand,
Yes.
Commissioner Reagan,
Yes,
Commissioner Henry.
Yes. We're in recess.
thank you.